Hey everyone, this is the LEGO Star Wars Luke Skywalker X-Wing Mech. I bought this for $16 US and comes with 195 pieces. And I feel like I shouldn't take this review too seriously because this thing is not too serious. So I'm just gonna be super casual with it because I really like this thing. I'm so happy with it. I was so happy when I saw it first announced. It is taking the mechification of all the things in just a ridiculous direction, which is perfect. That's the exact direction that it should go. And in line with that, that's why I've left the lightsaber, the minifig lightsaber in there. And also his gun, because it's just perfect. Now he's got a lightsaber and a lightsaber and a gun and a gun. Look at this thing. It's dumb in the best ways. I'm so happy that they're doing this, that they are challenging the notion that, Star Wars stuff has to be super serious. They are maintaining the notion that this is a toy, that LEGO makes toys, which can be enjoyed by kids as well as adults, because this is a silly thing, but it can still definitely be enjoyed by adults. And the only thing that's really not working out here for me is the articulation on it, because I want this lightsaber to be able to slash across more. See, I'm trying to get the angles that I want, and I'm not quite able to. Because it's just limited on the inside. Right in here, there's like an invisible range of motion limit, and it's all just coming down to this. That's the worst thing about it. The fact that this exists at all is brilliant. I like the design going through and the colors and the blocking going through the legs, which feels like it's really grabbing from the ship. That's probably one of the best things about it. This is a print, by the way. So you got a nice Rebel logo print in the 2x2 round tile there. And then for the X-Wing S foils back here, they're on ball joints. So you can turn them around. Now these represent lasers, right? So you can actually imagine these being weapons that the mech can use in addition to this big stud and tile shooting gun over here. So you can put those up. You can do a thing like that and do a full blast. You could probably figure out a way to get Luke to have his hand out as well. The fingers don't really do much. You can move them around, but you can do silly stuff. You can make them all angle up if you prefer that look. More of the Gundam kind of look there, I would say. I don't know. It's silly and it's perfect in that way. I'm fine with the fact that it doesn't have operating knees because this thing is able to easily balance. I can mess it up. I can play with it, and then I can say, okay, I want this to stand. Stand. That's it. That's all it takes. If it had tons of joints, I wouldn't be able to do that. So, it's got plenty of range of motion. I can get it to balance all kinds of ways that are like in action and stuff. And yeah, it is what it is. It is what you see here. I'm trying to call out anything in particular that stands out to me as particularly good or bad. I don't like the bubbles in the specialized blade on this one. I much prefer when they're just consistent. I would just like them to be consistent, period. I know some people like the bubbles. Some people prefer not to have the bubbles. Some people like them clear and crystal. Some people like them frosty. I just want them to be consistent. That's all. But yeah, all in all, it's a good thing. Let's take a closer look at the figure though. Generally, LEGO does well with their Rebel pilots. They always have, especially with the helmets. Now, the helmets will have some inaccuracies. Most, I'd say, of the inaccuracies are due to limits on the number of pad hits, the number of colors they're able to put on a single piece per their production standards, and also the limits of where they can place the ink. But just generally, this is a good looking figure. It doesn't have just plain orange legs. They didn't cheap out too much with it. I think the printing could definitely be more opaque all throughout. Could have used like an additional strike perhaps, or some thicker ink. But yeah, you get the two faces there, and the inclusion of both weapons I think is also good. And just generally I'm happy with that. I've heard some folks who are unhappy about the fact that this is not exactly the same Luke as we got in the relatively recent UCS X-Wing, and I don't think it needs to be the UCS one. I think the UCS one, as far as I'm concerned, UCS ones can be their own thing. Just like the perfect example was with the UCS Slave One, with that Boba Fett being exclusive to that variant being exclusive to that set. I think that was perfect. Adds a little bit of value for collectors to the set, but at the same time, there's no gatekeeping of the figure, or of the character. So you can still get a good character, and this is a good version of him, I think. Leftover pieces, there they are, no stickers. Again, this was $16 US, it's 16 euros, 13 pounds UK, $20 Canadian, comes with 195 pieces. I think the biggest question with this one is just whether to put the lightsaber blade or the lightsaber hilt on one of the clips versus the back where you got the third clip. Yes, they got accommodation for that. I almost forgot to mention that. Fun. They should keep doing these, definitely. Accessible, cheap enough, silly. Most importantly, silly. More silly, please. Good job, Lego. Toy, happy, fun, good. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.